be better.
What about Brian? Said locker room MRI showed nothing.
Yeah, no, he just got a little contusion, on the left side of his chest. It's going to be sore. It's kind of a day-to-day thing.
So there's a chance he could.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's more about the how much can he tolerate, right?
How about, I'm just going to go down the list.
Yeah,
Gabe.
Gabe should be fine. Again, it was just the shoulder. Just lost some feeling in there, and we were just kind of waiting for that to kind of come back a little bit during the game. It's just sometimes those are funny things, but should be fine.
Ezra,
ankle. He will be probably, as of today, probably like a day-to-day going into the weekend.
Sheriff and Darby.
I know Sheriff came back.
Sheriff came back. Sheriff's going to be sore. Tough guy. Battled. Came back, finished the game. Should be okay for this weekend. And Darby will be more day-to-day.
So how much better is Parker Washington equipped now to be able to step in for that role?
Yeah, I mean, he did some great things yesterday. Player that, has proven that he can do it. And so we have a lot of confidence moving forward that he can fill that role, fill that spot.
How do you evaluate how Cooper plays, especially considering he did right and left guard?
Yeah, I mean, tough. He plays right guard, then he has to go in at tight end for a PAT field goal, then he has to go left guard. I mean, he was all over the place. I mean, look, it wasn't perfect, but he, if he has to go this week, with a week of preparation, week of practice, getting all the reps, all that kind of stuff, he'll be much better. It was good for him to play, just to kind of feel game speed a little bit, and did some good things. But I think a week of work, if that's the case, will do him good.
After you watch the film, does it feel like Trevor just kind of had it settle in yesterday? What do you really attribute, I guess, to kind of the slower start on offense?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, gosh, you look at it. Yesterday, had a good start, first down. We're a 6-7 yard completion there on first down to Tank, and then 2 incompletions. I mean, those are just things we got to continue to look at, and it's just that execution part, right? And then as coaches making the decisions and the type of calls that we're making, and just look at it and make sure we're doing the right thing there. And but again, it took us into the second quarter against New England to get going, and it took us about to the 14th play of this game, to get us going. So, that's something we've got to look at and really make an emphasis of, starting like the way we finish. That would be ideal, as we move forward.
Do you like how the offense is responding, though? I mean, it seemed yesterday, 10-point deficit, and played its best at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I'm very pleased at how we respond. You don't want to be down 10, but that's 2 weeks in a row. We've been down 10, but we've responded. And the fact that, we did what we did at the end to tie the football game is pretty remarkable considering the amount of injuries we had, late in the game. Trevor, I thought, did a great job leading the team. The guys around him, Parker, Tim, Evan, Brenton, I mean, they made plays for him too. And so offensive line did some good things. So it was that part of it was good. Now we just somehow we got to get that to translate to the first play of the game and then carry on from there.
When you look at where you were through 8 games last year, I mean, the offensive numbers are not that far apart, but defensively there's a pretty big gap. Is this probably for you the most disbelieving part of where you are, that the defense has just not lived up? I mean, first 2 games they were fine, and then the last 6 weeks it's just been not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that as we look at the tape, look at the the personnel. You try to put a finger on it. the scheme? Is it the execution by the players? You know, I would say it's a little of both right now. And look, bottom line is sometimes, and I'm not saying this is the case, but you know, you don't want to do too much on the field, right? You don't want to take things into your own hands and think you got to do somebody else. Just ask you to do your job. Coaches coach, players play, all that. But just do your job, and we'll be fine. And when you see the good out there, that's what's happening. All 11 are playing as one. But sometimes there's, you know, every now and then you get the one guy that, you know, maybe he's out of his gap or does something a little bit different or forgot an assignment or something like that, and it hurts us. And those are the things we're trying to clean up right now, and just making sure we continue to coach the details, coach the finer points, and try to eliminate some of that.
As a follow-up to that, how concerning is the pass rush? I mean, like, you know, yesterday you had an impaired starter, you had a backup, but you know, from a pressure standpoint, it just didn't seem like it was nearly enough.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, you want to affect the passer, and you go in each week thinking you can, and you know, we got to take a look at it, and I do believe still we got the right guys there, you know. Whether we move them more, bring 5-man pressures, 6-man pressures, whatever we got to do to affect the passer, you know, we've got to be able to do that. And I know Ryan is looking hard at that. Takes a lot of pride in that, and you know, it's an area that we've got to improve.
Do you feel like you need to take a little more active role on defense this year? I think you did that last year.
As far as what?
Getting involved in game planning or personnel decisions or anything like that?
No. Listen, I leave it up to the experts over there. I'm an offensive guy. I'm going to stay on the offense. I'm going to help where I can. You know, I can help with personnel and, you know, different decisions that way. But as far as when it comes to scheme and all that, I mean, you know, that's what they get paid to do, and you know, let them do their jobs.
With Gabe potentially being back and Brian as well, are you going to have to change some stuff? What you do? I know you went to more 12 personnel at the end of the game last year. Can you count on these guys to kind of continue to run what you're running, or do you still have to adjust a significant amount?
Well, I mean, it's I think it changes just from the nature of the people that are on the field. But yeah, I mean, missing Christian is gonna sting a little bit. Obviously, his leadership and the way he's been playing, and you know, but you still we'll see this week where BT is, and we know that, and it's really, you're just asking Parker to kind of step into Christian's spot, and we feel very comfortable there. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of bunch of changes schematically. We just have to put our players, you know, in the best situations, meaning take their strengths and utilize that in the game plan.
So what kind of change is Walker Milton starting left tackle going forward?
Undecided right now, but he after the first couple of series, he settled in and did some good things, and we'll see how it goes this week.
Phil told Cam that he wasn't starting. Was there an argument between those two at all or anything? No?
Did you see one?
No. I was told that there might have been some words exchanged, so I wanted to check.
Well, anytime you have a conversation, there's words exchanged.
Angry words exchanged.
Oh.
How about that?
Yeah, no, that'd be news to me.
Doug, any chance of getting Dewey back this week?
Yeah, I think he's really close. I think, you know, last week was good for him. He'll probably be in a better spot this week, having gone through a week of practice. So yeah, I think there's a good chance.
When he comes back, are you going to ease him in, or do you want him to carry the defensive and special teams workload that he had before? Do you think it's going to have to be a transition before he carries?
I think you transition him. You know, he hasn't played, you know, in games, right? So I think much like we did Tyson, you know, when he came back, I think you have to transition him slowly, you know, to get him back up to speed.
I just want to ask you that you're probably going to have to hold him back once you get out there.
No, I mean, maybe a little, but it's whatever he can handle. I would say that. Whatever, if he feels like he's good, we put more on him. If he's, if he's in a good spot, we keep him right there in a good spot. So I think it's also dependent on how he responds.
And do you think you're going to have to bring up a wide receiver for the practice squad?
Probably so with Christian's situation, yeah.
The I think timeout you called with 4 minutes remaining, was that an analytics, I think? An analytics decision to try and save time there from that standpoint?
Was it a third down?
I'm asking for Brent Martineau, actually. He was just curious about the
Yeah, it probably was. You have to refresh my memory. I know we called one, and then I had 2 left at the end.
Third and 7 with 4:03 left. There you go.
Third and 7.
4:03 left.
We were on defense.
Third, you're on defense, yes.
Was the clock stopped or running? What was the play before?
A run, 2-yard run.
2-yard run to get it to 3rd and 7. Yeah, I think at that point we're just trying to conserve the time as much as we could. So just use one right there, if I remember correctly. I think it's possible. I mean, sounds good.
Got it, Brent? Good, Brent?
On the pre-snap defensive penalty, or it was technically special teams with the field goal block. Going back and looking at that, did you see anything?
No comment. Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's been a point of emphasis around the league. It's something that a lot of teams do. It's not that, I mean, we just move our line. I didn't feel like it was abrupt at all. But hey, it gets called, and then you got to coach it a little bit better next time.
Okay, everybody good for Doug? Thanks, Coach.